What's good, YouTube? It's Speak My Opinion on Topics High, and I'm Smooth J. We back, man. It's Football Friday. Y'all check out the new logo beneath. Smooth J all day. But we here. It's Football Friday, man. We're gonna break down each division, each team record, and we're gonna see what y'all think, man. We're gonna start off with the NFC West, Rams Nation, Mob Squad all day. But let's get it, man. I just think football's coming back. It's gonna be back eventually, but I just hope we have a full season. I know they've been talking about cutting out the 2 regular season games and only having 2, which is great since we already have an extra playoff team, extra game in the playoffs, and then there's going to be an extra regular season game. But we ready for football, man. It's been a long time without any sort of sports. Basketball don't look like it's getting back anytime soon. I know hockey's supposed to be starting at the end of July, but football, it starts in September. Hope this whole COVID thing just passes on by. But I'm going to break it down from who I think is going to be the worst in the division to who I think is going to be the best in the division. I'm a little biased, but, I think the Rams were going to have a bounce back year. Last year, we started slow, picked it up at the end of the year after we started handing the ball off to Todd Gurley. I don't know what we were doing at the beginning of the year. Like, we weren't running the ball. I don't know what happened. It's just we needed to feed Todd Father the ball. And when we did that, we started winning. We lost a couple games that could have got us in the playoffs. With the new playoff format, though, we would have made the playoffs last year. So anything can happen. Me personally, I think the NFC West are going to be the best division. It's tough. Arizona, let's just start off with them. When you look at their schedule, man, they got the Niners to start off with, and they played the Niners tough last year, but I think it's going to take some time for the Cardinals to get DeAndre Hopkins acclimated. Kyler Murray might have a sophomore slump. You never know. But my prediction for their record is going to be 6-10. And I think week 1, they lose to San Francisco. Week 2, they have Washington. And Washington, they got Dwayne Haskins. They got a couple good young receivers. They got a good young squad. Ron Rivera's back. But with Arizona, man, Cliff Kingsbury, let's see how his offense does this year. It was all right last year. Like, Kyler won Rookie of the Year, even though me personally, Josh Jacobs from Oakland or Vegas now, he should have won it. I think he had somewhat like 10 touchdowns or something, a little bit more than that. And as a rookie, I know he had 1,000 yards. He produced. I think Vegas had a better overall record than the Cardinals, so I don't know. We'll see. Like, I like the DeAndre Hopkins to Arizona move. I like all the young pieces that Isaiah Simmons in the draft, though. That was the steal of the draft. He might be the best player in the draft. Besides the quarterbacks, he can play D end, he can play linebacker, he can play safety, he can play slot corner. Like, he legit. He legit. So let's see how Arizona gonna do. Like, I just think 6-10. It's a little bit better than where they were last year. It might take them some time to get Kyler and DeAndre on the same page. They don't have a ton of weapons, but trading David Johnson away, they still have Kenyon Drake, which should help out. I think they're going to win 6 games. Their schedule is tough. They got Washington and Detroit and Carolina, and then the Jets. Like that's like the easiest part of their schedule. But then they have the Niners twice. They got the Seahawks twice. They got Rams Nation twice. And it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for them to win. I don't personally see it. I think they're on the up and up. Maybe next year, and who knows, man? They might sneak into the wild card because the third best team in the NFC West is going to be San Francisco, and that's my opinion. They're going to take a step back from where they were last year. They, Jimmy G, man, Jimmy G. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. All the Niners fans will have you believe that Jimmy G is like some great quarterback, but we saw it in the Super Bowl. He cannot lead the team. They only had him throw like 8 times in the NFC Championship against Green Bay. Like, that's when you know the coach really doesn't trust you in the clutch moments. Like, I try to tell San Francisco fans this all the time. The difference between Goff and Jimmy G is in the NFC Championship, just compare the last 2 years. Jimmy G throws 8 passes. They run all over the Packers. Goff, on the other hand, I know New Orleans Saints fans. I know it was pass interference. I admit that. But other than that, Jared Goff made throw after throw after throw in that game. Todd Gurley was a non-factor, a non-factor. So I'm like, people saying that Jimmy G is better than Goff, like, I don't see it. I just don't see it. Like Goff has proven more than Jimmy G. They both led their team to a Super Bowl, but I think personally, San Francisco's defense led them to the Super Bowl more than our defense did. Because as good as our defense was 2 years ago, Jared Goff and Todd Gurley and the offense carried us. And then in the NFC Championship, Goff was the one who won us the game. He's the one who made the throws to get us in field goal position. So I don't know. I'm just saying, but we all in the NFC West this year, it's going to be the best division, top to bottom. We just all have a crazy schedule. Like we have a insane schedule. It's nuts. Because I'm like, with San Fran, they're going to beat the Cardinals. They're going to beat the Jets. They're going to beat the Giants too. That's just what it is. But I don't know about if when it comes to the games, when it comes to the end of the schedule, when Jimmy G needs to actually take that next step, I don't know if they're going to do it. And I just see 8-8 because when you look at their schedule, they have New Orleans, they have us, they have Seattle twice, they have Dallas on there, man. It's just Buffalo. Like the schedule is tough for the NFC West, and I can see all of the NFC West. I can see all of us just kind of barely floating above 500, barely just because we play the AFC East, I know Buffalo is going to be hard for all the teams in our division just because the defense that they got. I know Dallas is going to be tough for most of us. I know the Eagles are going to be tough. The Giants are going to be a little better. It's just we have a tough schedule throughout the NFC West, and it's only time will tell. Like, I just don't think Jimmy G and that offense is going to do what they did last year. They led the league in rushing. I just don't see how they get to 12, 13 wins even. Unless their defense is flying around like they were last year and Nick Bosa is just a beast again. I don't know. But we'll see, Niner fans. I know y'all gonna hate me because I'm a Rams fan, but it's all good. There is no hate here, man. I'm just trying to keep it 100 because, hey, me personally, the Rams, we might not be this good at either. But next up, second place team is gonna be Seattle, and it's just Russell Wilson. Like, the boy is special. He's special, special, special. He makes plays every time he plays the Rams. I am scared. I am scared when that man plays us. He makes magic in the fourth quarter. He can run around, and when he runs, he don't run to just get rushing yards. He runs to just throw a dagger on someone over the top. How many plays has he had where someone's just catching a ball in the end zone with 2 feet in bounds? Like, crazy. The Fail Mary game last year against the Rams when he done dropped the dime in Tyler Lockett's hands in the like corner of the end zone. He's just scary good. But they have a pretty tough schedule too. Like, they have Atlanta on the schedule. It's just we each play an NFC South team. Arizona has Carolina. San Fran has New Orleans. Seahawks, they have Atlanta. Atlanta might be good this year. Hopefully their defense comes back. Hopefully it kind of picks up where they were like a few years ago, 2, 3, 4 years ago when they were in the Super Bowl. But ever since then, Dan Quinn on the hot seat. I'm guessing this year if he don't pick it up in Atlanta. But Seattle with Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson, they always have a chance. Their rushing game, no matter what, their O line is like a bunch of mixed match parts, and they always seem to be 100% on it all day. But they have Dallas too. I know they have Minnesota. It's just I see them at 9-7. They might lose to us once. They might lose to the Cardinals like they did last year. San Francisco might get them. Who knows? Like, Buffalo on the schedule. Like, we don't know how a lot of these teams are going to play out. But from what I see from the like outside looking in and throughout like what they got in the draft. I know they drafted Jordan Brooks, who's going to pair perfectly with Bobby Wagner. So their defense is going to be stout again. They just need to kind of get their secondary right, some safety work, maybe get a couple of edge rushers. I know Jadeveon Clowney's still out there. Maybe they can sign him as a free agent, but never know. I just hope when we play Russell Wilson, our defense comes to play because he gets after it, man. He gets after it. And I know he's at least a top 3 quarterback. I would put him, Rodgers, Brady, Breeze. Those are like the 4 that you can kind of name off top. And then Patrick Mahomes, of course. But, on to the first place team. I think it's going to be Ram Nation, Mob Squad. But it might not be. It might not be. I'm tentative on the 11-5. I'm kind of more in the 10-6 range, maybe 9-7 like Seattle. We have maybe one of the toughest schedules. Like, if all the teams on our schedule like actually come and they play like they're supposed to, I just think we might have trouble this year. Our schedule it's rough. Like, when you look at it, we have Dallas first, $7 billion stadium that we're about to play in. That it looks beautiful. I pray for the worker family who died working on the roof of the building. Man, that thing is massive. It's massive. I can't wait till we open the stadium, man. It's gonna be better than Dallas Stadium. It's gonna be better than Vegas Stadium. It was supposed to be like a $2 billion stadium, went up to like 3, then it went up to 5, and I heard the end project's supposed to be like 7 billion. That is a hefty, hefty price for that stadium in LA. But hopefully I get a chance after all this COVID stuff, having my first kid, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully me, the girlfriend, the baby can all go to a game maybe. She's a Bronco fan. We'll react to the AFC West maybe next football Friday. But looking at the schedule for the Rams, the Cowboy game, the Eagle game, those both are tough. Cowboy game at home, Eagle game on the road, and then we're in Buffalo. We can either go 0-3, we can always go 3-0, or we could go 2-1, 1-2. It You never know. That's going to be the toughest part, because then it kind of starts to get like Washington, and then we get Chicago, we get Miami, and we get the Giants. I just see us kind of going maybe 3-3, 4-2 in the first six, and then we get Seattle. We're gonna split with them. I already know that. That happens every year. The Tampa game, I figure that's an L with Tom Brady and all those weapons, but we lost to them last year, and we need some payback. We got Jalen Ramsey, Cam Akers. I hope he's a great running back. I wanted J.K. Dobbins personally, but you know, they like them Florida State players. They like the Auburn players. That's who we tend to draft. So it is what it is. I just hope the offensive line can come back and do what they did 2 years ago, because last year was underwhelming and they got Jared Goff sacked and he had no time to throw back there, especially when we had no running game. It's just Sean McVay needs to get back to the basics with all of them, but we'll see. We do get like Arizona. We get New England on Monday night. I think we should be able to smash them. Jared Stidham, not worried. Brian Hoyer, not worried. Who knows where Cam Newton goes? I don't see him fitting with Bill Belichick as much as people say it. Cam Newton just ain't taking Bill Belichick. He ain't taking it. He ain't taking it, I'll tell you. And then we got like the Jets. We got Seattle again. We got the Niners. I just think with Seattle, with the Niners, will split 1-1. Arizona, we gonna get them twice. Sean McVay has Cliff Kingsbury number, trying to be the next Sean McVay down there in Arizona. We ain't worried. But that's my take. I think AZ is gonna be 6-10, followed by San Francisco at 8-8. Seattle going to be 9-7, and the Rams, I'm going to say 11-5, but don't count me on it. We might go 10-6, maybe even 9-7. Just get the tiebreaker with Seattle, but it's going to be a tough vision. This year, this football year is going to be a good one, man. Well, we got 5 prime time games, and we ready. We just ready for football season to start. It's the best. I mean, when football season starts, you got fantasy, you got betting, you got football pools, you got barbecue. You just got it all, man. You got it all. And then especially Sundays are for football. And then you got it on Thursdays and Mondays. I know they're trying to cram football in your brain, but it's all good. The more football, the better. Man, I appreciate y'all. This has been Football Friday. Speak my opinion on topics high, and I'm Smooth J, and we out.